Hello and welcome back. It's Jennifer here again doing another episode of the basics for my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing blanket stitch. This is actually take number 4, but I won't waste your time telling you that right now. We're just going to get straight into it. I have 2 pieces of fabric here, a dark background and a light front, and a thread that shows up hopefully on both the blue and the green so that you can see it nice and clearly. So we've started with a knot at the back, very basic, straight through the blue fabric only, and then we are going to pass the needle. You can see I've already done a hole there already. We're going to go in there and out there. We're going to keep the thread on the back of the needle, see, behind the needle, and pull it tight. You can actually pull it and you need to pull it quite tight. If you don't want anything to pucker or fold, all you're doing is making sure that it's not too floppy, and your 2 sides of the L should be about the same length. I'm going to go in and do the second one here. Again, the thread is behind the needle for when we pull it through. And then we'll do the third one. I was going to explain something, but I'll do it on the third one. We're coming right out at the end. The thread is behind the needle. Hopefully I'll be able to speed this up before I upload it. I've gone and got myself into a bit of a knot. It's actually very difficult trying to do something. Oh heavens above, I thought I was going to have to... I managed to save that. This is not ideal. It's actually very difficult doing something behind a camera. I know a lot of people have the camera on different angles to this, but I think in my experience, having to learn something and flip it, imagine it upside down or left hand to right hand, is really quite difficult. So my intention with these videos is to try and give you the same angle that I have when I'm doing it. Again, your thread is behind the needle. So I'm actually trying to do this, and there's a camera between my head and my hands. I need to look at the camera to see that it's in focus, but I also need to see what I'm doing. So this is actually landing up not what I would call my best work, but you can't have it. You can't be slow when you're trying to do a demonstration, and you can't sit there in total comfort when you're trying to get the right lighting and the right focus and the camera. So these are just the most abominable stitches I think I've ever done, but I've already done 4 takes in a hotel here in London, and so we've had housekeeping pop in. Then I put the do not disturb sign on the door, and then somebody else walked past and knocked on the wrong door, not seeing the sign. And by the 3rd attempt I had myself in quite a knot, literally. So I don't want to have to start this again, despite the fact that this is pretty abominable. But your stitches need to be, in real life, as consistent as you can, and as straight as you can, and all these are meant to be pointing into the middle. Some are, some aren't. You can see I've got them all different lengths. This is just appalling, but I'm hoping that you can get the idea. I'll throw this in the bin. Mostly my samples I make into things and then give them away as prizes or to charity or something, but I think this lot will be landing in the bin. But I think that you get the general gist of it, or more than the general gist. I want you to really know what you're doing, and I really want to finish the circle as well, because then you can see how to finish it off. I have very interesting lighting here coming in the window. I tried shutting the curtains and it was too dark. Anyway, it's actually not working out too badly, but the idea is this is the blanket stitch is actually sewing the cream fabric onto the blue fabric. It's not always how we will do it, but it's just it's a very common way. This is how we do it in quilting, and it's how we do edges for earrings and for pendants and for scarves. And so we've come full circle in a pretty shoddy job, but we've come full circle, and because this thread is again on the inside, we're now going outside back to where we began, where we can put it through and just knot it again next to where the other knot is. So that's a very simple blanket stitch that is sewing the cream onto the blue. You can see here this pair of earrings that I'm in the middle of making. We've got turquoise, we've got a black piece at the back and a turquoise piece at the front. So the two pieces of fabric are actually the same size. So I won't go into details of what we use it for, because we'll do that as we go through the different projects, but this is just so that you can go back and get a refresher on blanket stitch. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.